What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to day 180 of Vlogging Every Day Until I Become a Veterinarian. It's been a pretty cool day. So I've been hanging out at the house doing a bunch of schoolwork. Me and Molly went and rode our EUC earlier, and we went and rode our EUC, and we came across a little bitty mouse. We're riding, and we're going up on the pavement, and I hear, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? And I stop, and I'm like, Molly, hold on, wait. Listen to that. And at first, to me, it sounded like a killdeer bird, those little birds, and they'll act injured so that you go towards them and they'll lead you away from their nest. Well, it sounded like that, and I was like, a killdeer in the middle of town? I was like, where is this? And so we start looking around, and I hear it again. And they had just mowed the grass on both sides of this pavement walking trail, and that we're riding our EUCs on. And I'm like, okay, there's got to be like a bunny nest or a mouse nest or something. So we start very carefully stepping over and start moving all this grass over. And sure enough, I move this little bit of grass, and this little guy comes crawling out. And it's just an itty bitty young field mouse. Probably lost its nest. Looked around for more. Never saw any more. Never heard any more. Could have just been a single kid that fell off of the mom and was just literally baking out there in the sun. So I picked it up. And we start looking at it. Miley starts videoing me, and he kind of I wasn't expecting him because he was so slow and itty bitty. I didn't expect him to try to dart. Well, he darted, and he jumped off my hand, probably at about 4 feet off the ground, and fell in the concrete. And I was like, oh no, that's not good, that's not good. And I was like, okay, I'm thinking I'm going to have to put this guy out of his misery. Well, I carry him for a minute, and I'm like, man, I think he's okay. I go, but I can't just throw this guy out. I mean, he's going to die. He's going to bake in the sun. I was like, maybe I'll just throw him in the shade somewhere. And then I'm just like, no, then he's just going to starve to death. He was breathing real heavy. So I was like, whatever, man. I haven't done this in like 10 years. So we brought him home, and I got some kitten replacer milk. And while Miley was in Hobby Lobby, I was feeding him in the car, and he started just slurping down this kitten replacer milk. And I've actually been feeding him with these. Let me show y'all. So with these little paint brushes. This is how I did it like 10 or so years ago. The last time I did this was probably about 10 to 15 years ago. It's been a long time. I was probably like 13 the last time I did this, and I actually successfully raised a bunch of field mice, and I kept 2 specifically, and I named them Almond and Cashew, and they were like my best friends for a while. They were awesome. They lived a couple years. They were really good mice. And so I'm like, whatever, let's do this. I already got the kangaroo rat, which I have him set up in here, and he's doing great, by the way, guys. So I'm like, whatever, I'll take him, I'll try to raise him. And so he's been doing really good. So I got home, I fed him a couple times. He's already at the age now where he doesn't need to like eat overnight. And then during the day, it's usually about every 6 or so hours. So I fed him just a bunch right now before I went to bed. He's very loud. I mean, he squeaks very loud. He's looking for mom, and it's sad because he didn't have him. But I'm going to raise him, hopefully get him big enough, and either try to find somebody who wants a pet mouse. I don't really want a pet mouse, not right now. If I can't really find nobody, I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to release him back in the wild, or I don't know, guys. It's a tough situation. It's when you have like a bleeding heart and you don't want to kill these animals, but you don't want to keep these animals, and finding somebody to keep a field mouse is going to be really hard, and feeding them to the snakes is not an option because I don't feed live to my snakes, even if it is more of a mercy situation. And so, yeah, but let me show y'all this guy. Okay, I lied. I can't show y'all him, but he is in here, and he's finally wrapped up for the night. And I haven't been able to actually get him to go in this rag all day. He's just been running around the rim of the enclosure, just freaking squeaking. So now that he's in there, I'm definitely not going to pull him out. He's going to sleep throughout the night. He's going to be nice and warm, so that's exactly what I want. Found this little baby guy. He was chirping and squeaking in the grass. I think he's almost full. Come on. Yeah, he was latching on really good earlier, and then sucking it really hard until all the milk came out. He's latched on. There's a little more. Yeah, he's about full. And plus it doesn't help that it's like room temp. But I'll throw a little bit of footage in of me and Miley of when she was videoing me feeding him in the car and doing all that. and he's doing great now. So I think he'll survive. I think he'll be perfectly fine. I'm actually gonna move him to a bigger cage tomorrow, just so he has a little bit more room to move around. And oh my God, guys, let me just show you real quick my boy. Look at my boy Gleb. Oh my God, he's so cute. Freaking adorable. I love that guy. I love that guy so much. But anyhow, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this. I got to go do some work and get all these animals taken care of before I go to bed. So appreciate everybody for tuning in. I will see y'all tomorrow for day 181 of vlogging every day until I become a veterinarian. Later.